So Haley, tell me about a time that you took some really bad advice.
Oh Lord. Well, I was 16. It was my sophomore year of high school, and I really liked this guy. And he was like the pitcher for the baseball team. He was like the point guard for the basketball team, the starter. And he was just like the it dude in my grade. Okay. And actually, no, he was a year younger than me, which is also crazy. Stay with me. What ended up happening was we went to Sonic one night, pulled up, saw him and all his friends. And I was telling my best friend, I was like, I really like him. I could see a future with him. He was flirting with me in class. He really liked me. And so she was like, you should totally hit him up. He totally likes you too. I could see a future with you too. I so recommend, like, let's go type out a little message and like send it to him. So I went home that night, sent him an entire paragraph and went on and on and on about how much like I liked him and how like good we would be together and how I could see a future with him. You know what he responded with? Haley, I love you, but I'm not interested in dating you. So our entire friendship was ruined, and there was no future. So, yeah.
So Joey, tell me about a time you got some really bad advice.
As many of you know, I wanted to go to church because my buddy invited me, but I gave it a little bit of pause because I had never really been to youth ministry, youth group before. So I said, why should I go? And he said, games and girls. I mean, what more do you need? The bad advice that I took was when I had an opportunity to get involved in the youth ministry worship band. I was a drummer, I played a little bit of bass, I sang a little bit, but it wasn't really super important to me, but I didn't want the youth pastor to know that, so when he asked me, hey, do you want to play on our youth band? I said, of course I do. I took this advice from another friend of mine when I said, hey, I don't really know how to play this. I just said, yes, I don't know what to do. My friend said, just fake it till you make it. And so I took that literally, and I just faked it. I didn't practice all week. I just said, oh, I'll just figure it out on Sunday morning. Then I get to Sunday morning, and it was a bit of a disaster. The drummer counts us off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first note that came out sounded like somebody had just run over a cat. So I feverishly started trying to figure out what to do, because as you know, I was faking it. So I grab my capo, I start moving it around, I start tuning my strings just to try and make it work. About halfway through the song, I feel like I find my groove, but then I lock eyes with the sound guy in the back of the room, and he was feverishly turning knobs, and sweat was pouring down the side of his face. But I was still confident because the advice that I got was fake it till you make it. We get to the end of the song, and everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy, like what just happened? And as I'm walking out of church, I realized maybe I shouldn't fake it till I make it. I should just practice.
Miss Cammy, tell me about a time that you took some really bad advice.
Sanford, I took some really bad advice when I was in 4th grade. Spending the night at a friend's house, and the mom said, oh, let me do your hair. And she put my hair in 2 pigtails, and then she braided it, and then she proceeded to wrap up each one into a Princess Leia bun. And she told me it looked fabulous, and her daughter, my friend, told me it looked fabulous. So I have Princess Leia buns in my 4th grade class picture for eternity.
So Shots, tell me about a time that you took some really bad advice.
I work out with my son a lot in the gym. You know, we're trying to stay healthy and get bigger. And one day I just said to him, I was like, man, I just don't feel like I'm getting any bigger. I'm kind of plateauing with my workout. And he said, you know what you need to do? You need to come to my jiu-jitsu gym and join the team. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I love watching MMA. You know, I think I could probably do that. So I go with him to the gym, and I walk in, and I'm all ready. I think I can handle this. And I see a line of guys who are built like mountains. Dude, they are just huge. They're ripped, tattoos, looking tougher than I could ever look in a million years. So we do the warm up, and I'm like, okay, the fitness part's okay. I feel pretty good. And then we start doing jiu-jitsu, rolling around on the mat. I don't know if you've ever done this, but it's a very odd experience. A guy grabs you, you grab him, you roll around, and I thought I could handle this until I realized I couldn't. I mean, this one guy had me wrapped up like a pretzel. Like I had a leg over my head, an arm was almost dislocated, my neck was being strangled, I was turning blue. There was one point where some guy was just sitting on my chest and I couldn't breathe, and he's asking me if I'm okay, and I can't even respond. It was wild, and at that point, I knew I wasn't Joe Rogan.
All right, Pastor Kaz, tell me about a time you took some really bad advice.
Oh, man. One year, I was the new kid moving to a new school, and that summer, I met one kid, and we saw, just before school was starting, we saw like a back-to-school display or whatever. We saw the mannequin had on a polo shirt with a collar popped, and then a second shirt over the top, like a Hawaiian shirt, also the collar popped. And I was telling that kid how nervous I was about being new. And he was like, dude, you should dress like that. Everybody will love it. And I thought, yeah, it is pretty cool actually, right? So I begged my mom. She bought me the 2 shirts. And first day of school, I'll never forget it. Like I had new shoes. I had my hair spiked up because that was, a gel. It was pretty cool. And I had on both shirts, collar popped. And I walked into school. I had a little bounce in my step. I was nervous, but I felt like this is gonna work. It's gonna be pretty cool. I walked in, the first class I walked into, first person I met, just looked at me real weird and was like, dude, why are you wearing 2 shirts?
Oh,
That's terrible. I never wore those shirts again.
that might not have worked then, but I think you should try it. Maybe it'll work.
You need to do it now?
Yeah.
I got that.